Radyo Katipunan. News, insights, inspiration. Radyo Katipunan. Down from the hill and down to the world. Radyo Katipunan. The voice of the Blue Eagle. The Jesuit Hour. Get to know the Jesuits. Discover their spirituality, their history, their ministries. The Jesuit Hour. Anything Jesuit, everything Jesuit. The Jesuit Hour.
Good morning, mga Katipuneros. Good morning, Athenians inside the campus and outside of the campus, Athenians here and abroad. This is the Jesuit Hour here at Radyo Katipunan 87.9, your campus radio. Yes, and this is your host, Father Nono Alfonso, SJ. It's a Thursday, May 24, 2018. Yes, good morning po sa inyong lahat, mga Katipuneros. Kumusta po ang inyong gising? Of course, shout out to our seniors. Last night, they had their, ano nga bang tawag dyan? Roast, blue roast. So, medyo puyat po sila ngayon. Anyway, we hope that you have enjoyed your roasting of fellow classmates and teachers. Yun, ano? Teachers are, of course, deathly afraid of attending the blue roast because you'll find out what your students have been thinking about you. Okay. So anyway, we hope that you have enjoyed that. Of course, that begins the countdown for the graduation. Graduation is this weekend. Wow. Congratulations to all those who are graduating. Good morning, good morning, good morning. This is the Jesuit Hour, and we would like to start, as usual, with our morning prayer from Father James Kubiki's A Year of Daily Offerings. Today he writes about Mary, the help of Christians. Yes. And so he says, in the early 19th century, the French Emperor Napoleon held Pope Pius VII a prisoner in France for almost 6 years. In 1814, Napoleon was defeated in battle, and the Pope was able to return to the Vatican. He entered Rome on this day to the cheers of the crowd that had gathered to welcome him back. In gratitude for his health and safe return, the Pope instituted this Feast of Mary. St. John Bosco said, "Spread devotion to Mary, help of Christians, and you will see what miracles are." Pope Benedict XVI asked us to pray for the church in China on this day, which is also the feast of Our Lady of Sheshan in Shanghai. Our prayers asking the intercession of Mary are very powerful. She is a sister in Christ who, because she is with him in glory, continues to play a role in the life of every Christian. And so we turn to her now with a prayer adopted from one written by St. John Bosco. Most Holy Virgin Mary, help of Christians, how sweet it is to come to your feet, imploring your perpetual help. If earthly mothers never cease to remember their children, how can you, the most loving of all mothers, forget us? Grant then to us your help in all our necessities, in every sorrow, and especially in all our temptations. We ask for your unceasing help for all who are now suffering. Help the weak, cure the sick, and convert sinners. Obtain for us, O Mary, help of Christians, that having invoked you on earth, we may love and eternally thank you in heaven. Amen. Mary, help of Christians, pray for us. Yes, good morning, my dear friends, mga Katipuneros. We would just like to greet ang mga masugid po nating tagapakinig, tagapanood. Paul Mangilo, good morning. Jennifer Chua, good morning. Christina Sopno Baltazar, good morning. And Mark Daril de Guzman, good morning to all of you. When we return, my dear friends, we will just take a short break. And when we return, I would like to introduce to you our guests. Yes, mayroon po tayong mga panauhing pandangal ngayong umagang ito. And once again, we will learn something new. I hope we learn many things new pala, no? The church is in a struggle. Wow, ano? Environmental struggle. Okay, the church in Metro Manila is struggling to fight for the environment. You will find out more about that topic and our guests when we return. Sandali lamang po.
The Jesuit Hour. Get to know the Jesuits. Discover their spirituality, their history, their ministries. The Jesuit Hour. Anything Jesuit, everything Jesuit. The Jesuit Hour.
To open our eyes and ears that we may see the face of Christ and hear his voice in our midst. For 28 years, Jesuit Communications has been promoting the Catholic faith and serving the nation through both traditional and new media. Hear us tackle national issues in light of Christian values on Usapang Kapatid, Pasakalye, and Radyo Veritas. Watch our uplifting reflections on Kapet Pandasal and The Word Exposed, as well as our acclaimed TV specials. Listen to the inspiring and soothing music of Jesuit Music Ministry's original artists as you read our spiritually enriching books. To learn more about JustCom's mission of evangelization and education, follow us on YouTube, Facebook, and our website, justcom.ph. To give a face to the faceless and a voice to the voiceless, that we may recognize Christ in them and hear his story in theirs.
Welcome to The Rundown, where we take you right into the action with the latest sports news, updates, game previews, breakdown, and analysis in, around, across, and beyond the Ateneo. And now, let's get ready to run down! Good morning, Ateneo. Start your day right with your morning wake-up call. Good morning, Ateneo. Energize your day with the lively, funny, and lovely tandem of Mir de los Santos and Tats Kiblat. Catch the latest news and stories around the campus. Good morning, Ateneo. Your daily dose of Radio Chikahan, Tawanan, Kantahan, and Kwentuhan. Every morning from 9 to 10 a.m. Tuesdays to Fridays. Good morning, Ateneo. Your mornings will never be the same again. The Jesuit Hour. Get to know the Jesuits. Discover their spirituality, their history, their ministries. The Jesuit Hour. Anything Jesuit, everything Jesuit. The Jesuit Hour.
And we're back, my dear friends. We're back here at the Jesuit Hour. Once again, I'm your host, Father Nono, Alfonso, S.J. Okay, we'd like to greet, of course, our listeners, our viewers, Facebook viewers, Jose Aliore the second, Jim Promstroller, and Christopher Nabua and Catherine Cardos. Good morning to all of you. And please join us till 12 noon today or this morning as we tackle another pressing social issue facing the country, or this time around Metro Manila. We would like to greet as well, of course, Ateneans based abroad, especially the Ateneo Alumni Associations in the US of A and Canada. Be safe. Okay, so my dear friends, you can perhaps, those who are watching us through Facebook Live, you can already see we have guests. Okay, full of wisdom, I would like to say. Okay, let me introduce them. On my left is a Columban priest, Father John Laydon. Good morning, Father John.
Good morning, Father Nono.
And He's very conversant in Tagalog as well. Magandang umaga, Father John.
Magandang umaga din.
Ayun. And he is joined here by a very active, how do you call it, church personnel in Malate. Is that true? Miss Tet Sambale.
Magandang umaga po.
Magandang umaga, Miss Tet. Okay, so before we discuss our topic for this morning, which is very important for us here in Metro Manila. Yes. Okay, so Father John, can you tell us how long have you been here in the Philippines?
Dumating ako 1973.
Oh my, I was 2 years old.
Were you still around? Were you around?
2 years old.
Yeah.
Yes.
I actually September 21, 1973.
Oh, martial
Unang
1 year anniversary.
anibersaryo ng martial law. Yeah.
And you have not left since then.
Palagi nandito
ka lang.
sa Pilipinas.
Oo.
Yeah.
Wow.
Never assigned anywhere else. Yeah.
Yes, Father. And what was your specific assignment here in the Philippines?
Pastoral.
So parish.
Sa
You're
parish,
based in the
sa
parish.
Silang Cavite nung una. Yeah, doon ako natuto ng Managalog.
So kilala mo ang ating kardinal because galing siya ng Cavite.
Oo, student siya noon. Yeah.
Estudyante mo?
Hindi.
No.
Yeah, students, seminarista siya noon. Panahon ni Monsignor Felix Perez.
Yes.
Yeah.
And now he's your boss in Manila.
Absolutely, yeah.
But what is the particular charism of the Columban?
The Columbans were originally diocesan priests na naging missionero. So we're kind of a combination of diocesan pastoral with the missionary, with the cross-cultural.
How many are you here in the Philippines?
Right now about 30, I think.
30,
yeah.
30.
Pero dati we used to be almost 300.
But you're also recruiting local.
Since the 1980s. Yeah.
Okay. So how has that been?
It's trickle. It's slow. It's slow.
So there are Filipino Columbans.
There are about 15
yes.
now. Yeah.
In terms of missions, mission countries, where are you
we're
located?
in Philippines, of course, Korea, Taiwan, Myanmar, Fiji, South America, in Peru and Chile.
But the mother house or the father house is
in Hong Kong now.
Oh,
China.
really?
Actually,
Wow.
China. But sorry, I forgot our most important mission, which is China.
Yes,
because originally we were founded for China.
Yes.
We were called the Maynooth, which was the big seminaries Ireland, the diocesan seminary, the Maynooth mission to China, and we're celebrating our 100th anniversary this year.
Wow! Congratulations.
Thank you.
Okay.
Yes.
So we'll be talking about an issue that is close to your heart. Are you not fearful that you will suffer the fate of Sister Patricia Fox?
Well,
just kidding.
sana.
Just kidding. But
Yeah.
have you been naturalized or did you apply for?
No,
not really.
There's no advantage, especially if you're traveling abroad. Having an EU passport is like gold.
Okay. Yes, of course.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's turn to Miss Tet Sambale. Miss Tet, ano naman po ang trabaho nyo or ito ba talaga yung parang full-time yung pinagkakaabalahan?
Leader ako ng isang homeowners association.
Homeowners, yes.
Opo.
Sa Malate.
Sa Malate.
Oo.
At sa tulong din ng Malate Church ng mga Columban, binuo po namin lahat, parang kinonfederate lahat ng mga homeowners association sa Malate.
Sa Malate. Mga ilan po kayong homeowners doon? Diyan sa organisasyon na yan?
Sa ngayon po, meron kaming 5 homeowners association.
Wow, malaki-laki. Pero kayo po, nanay, meron kayong pamilya? Ilan ang anak ninyo?
Meron po. 3 anak ko, 12 apo.
Oh, wow, congratulations. Masaya, no?
Masaya.
Oo. Pero nagtatrabaho pa po kayo?
Hindi na po.
Yung asawa nyo?
Silk screen printer.
Wow. Uy, maganda yan. Oo. Okay, so let's talk about, let's jump on to
Pero masasabi ko kay Tet din, very model siya. Organizer din siya.
Organizer,
At
yes.
may kasaysayan yan. She goes back to
SCOPS, NASA,
Ah, oo.
1970s.
Oh.
Doon ako na-train, CO.
Sino pang mga... Si Bishop Claver, nabutan niyo
Bishop
pa.
Claver.
Yes, Francisco Claver, who was a Jesuit. Yes.
Ted Botalid,
Okay, oo. Ang dami, no? Oo.
si Bishop Labayen.
Hindi ba kayo napapagod hanggang ngayon? Lumalaban? Ganun talaga, no? Ganun ang buhay. Oo.
Parang, kumisan parang wala ka ng pag-asa. Pero
Oo.
kung hindi tayo gagalaw,
Yes.
at wala tayong pakialam, wala pa rin mangyayari. Ano?
Tsaka ganyan yata yung buhay, laging lumalaban. Okay, so Father John, can you tell us what this controversy is about? Mga Katipuneros, we will be talking about there's a project, the Manila Bay Reclamation Project. Kailan ba ito nagsimulang project na to?
Well, it's there is a program by the PPA. What's the PPA?
Ports Authority, Philippine Ports Authority.
No,
Is that
PTA? The
API? Tourism.
No, PEA.
PEA.
it's
Yes.
the reclamation.
Yes,
PRA,
yes,
PRA,
yes, yes.
yeah, the reclamation. There's a plan to. There are something like 57 projects.
57.
Yes, to
Along Metro, Manila Bay.
reclaim sa buong Pilipinas.
Buong Pilipinas.
Oo.
57 projects.
Yeah,
Wow.
yeah, and reclamation is very questionable.
Yeah.
And pero it's very lucrative.
Yeah. But when did they hatch this plan, this project? This
The
57?
recent one was about 10 years ago.
10 years ago. So matagal na, no? Matagal
Oo.
na to.
But before there was reclamation in the panahon ni Cory, in the 86 there was a lot of reclamation,
Meron na.
and it was stopped. Yeah,
Yeah.
a lot of reclamation took place. Yeah, so it's a classic case ng it's pwede yumaman
Yeah.
pero it's very bad for the environment. The water table sa Maynila will be affected at saka yung ecosystem ng Manila Bay. And this morning, Manila Bay is in crisis.
Yeah.
This morning,
That's in the news.
In the news, yeah.
It's what do you call that? It's a waste.
It's a toilet bowl
Yes,
that
that's what they.
has not been flushed.
Yes.
Yeah. In 2000, very interesting statistic. In 2008, I don't know what you call it, fecal or fecal count
Yes.
was 1 million in 2008.
Wow.
200, anything over 200
Is,
is dangerous.
yeah.
It's now 5 million.
Oh my God.
Yes, yeah.
And that you still see people swimming in Manila Bay.
Wow.
During
At their-
summer.
At their risk. At
Yeah,
their
at
risk.
their
Yeah,
risk.
yeah.
Okay, so this reclamation project, this is being proposed by government since 20 years ago. Who are the partners? Of course, there would be business interests that would be partnering with government, pushing for this, because the government has no money. So, do we know them?
Well, what usually happens is a project. There are many different projects. We must be dealing with ilan sa ating mga 5
Dito
or
sa
6 alone on the waterfront doon
5 to
sa
6.
sa Parañaque, sa
Yes.
then meron din sa Novotas. And
Yeah.
what happens is the project is proposed and ibang nagpropose and then somebody else will come in. But what has a bad development para sa akin is that the local government are now involved in
Yes.
partnership. Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's even legally questionable what they're doing, no?
Yeah. But
Because that's public property. no?
correct.
Yeah.
But for example, we know this as a fact. Yung SMOA is standing on a reclamation site, correct?
Yes.
It was reclaimed.
Yes.
And so is, I think, CCP, di ba? Reclamation
Yes.
din yan, di ba?
CCP.
Lahat
Even
yan eh.
Rojas Boulevard.
Rojas Boulevard is
Oo.
reclamation.
Yeah.
And
Baseco is reclaimed.
Baseco, oh. And yet we now are saying no more. Kasi dati, nagkaroon ng mga reclamation, But now we are saying no more. It's gonna have an impact environmentally on us. Oo. Ate Tet, ano yung mga LGUs naman? Kasi mga LGUs, they want these projects in their localities because there's money involved. Correct? Tama po ba yun? Sa Parañaque, halimbawa?
Hindi sa Parañaque, yung sa Las Piñas.
Mhm.
May mga tao, may mga grupo, mga mangingisda na syempre tinutulan nila 'yon.
Mhm.
Bago pa yung Cavitex mabuo, tinutulan nila 'yon.
Mhm.
Sa Malati itself, nagdi-disagree kami.
Mhm.
Una, kung may re-reclaim yung Manila Bay, ang unang mangyayari diyan, pwedeng bumaha
Mhm.
sa aming lugar.
Yeah.
Na usually, kahit na anong mangyari, bumagyo man, maliban lang nung bagyong Pidring at saka nung Undoy, bumaha talaga hanggang sa Malate.
Yun na nga eh. Oo.
Pero, most of the time, hindi naman kami binabaha.
Mhm.
Pero kung marireclaim siguro ang Manila Bay, mababahain na.
Mhm.
Tapos, bababa din yung value nung kabuhayan ng mga tao doon.
Mhm.
Parang magiging, imbis na nasa commercial o kaya nasa magandang kalagayan yung community namin, parang mapupunta ka sa sulok.
Mhm.
Kaya bababa yung
So yung ano
mga
po nyo, yung mga
values.
community na sinasabi nyo, kasama nyo dito sa isang network na tumututol dito.
Opo.
So marami kayong tumututol.
Yung SOS po, yan yung organization.
Ano
na,
yung SOS? Save
Save Our Shore.
Our Shore. Wow, SOS. That means help, ano? So SOS.
Mga businessman, tapos yung middle sector
Mm.
group sa Malate.
So malaki,
Ay, journalist.
malaking opposition, ano? Kasi merong negosya, akala ko mga ano lang, mga taga-simbahan lang, pero
Hindi
malaki.
po.
Oo.
Malaki po yung alliance.
Yes, okay.
Oo.
Yes, Father, you want to add?
Pero the pattern is na parang binibaliwala kung
Binabaliwala.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
And it's very may mga hearing pero parang lutong Macau. No? I mean they're supposed to be, and it's very interesting in Laudato Si. At one point it says, do not be coming up with plans and then discussing with people afterwards.
Yeah.
You need to consult with people.
Yeah.
And there's very strong evidence. One of the biggest things is the water table sa Manila is bumababa yan. And that can be, if that goes down further, it will become the seawater will come in. And
You mentioned, Father, there are hearings. So may mga kaso na nito.
not hearings, public hearings.
Public
hearing.
hearings.
Yeah.
Okay,
There was
okay.
one last Monday. Yeah.
Sinong nagsimula?
DENR po yung
DENR.
nag-host.
Oo.
Tapos invited nila nung nakaraang, kailan yun, Father? 21? Nung nakaraang Monday, invited nila lahat ng mga people's organization, mga NGOs, iba't ibang government agencies na nasa paligid. Invited nila yon. Pero ngayon, iba yung kanilang pre-propose, iba yung kanilang nilalatag. Yung dati, Solar City, ngayon, Manila Waterfront City Reclamation. Yun naman yung title ngayon.
Bago-bago lang, ano? So,
Ganon.
balikan lang po natin, ano? So, Father, we are opposing this gargantuan project, in Metro Manila because of many grounds.
At hindi Metro Manila lang,
Hindi
may
lang,
Cebu,
yes.
may Davao.
Yes,
Yeah.
So number one, it's environmentally unsound, correct?
Oo,
Yes.
oo.
So there are environmental reasons, and we experienced that here in Metro Manila nung may malakas na habagat. Remember that? And the whole or half of Metro Manila was submerged in water. Here, dito po sa Marikina, grabe, no? And people died. And that is because of the many constructions built, diba? Many establishments built on grounds that should never be,
Yes. Floodplains.
Yes,
Oo,
yes.
oo.
And so that's where opposing these projects on environmental grounds. Number two, you also mentioned the legal grounds.
Oh.
You know, what do you mean by that?
Well, in 1954, Manila Bay was declared a national.
Yes.
That you're not supposed to be making galaw dyan.
Manila Bay.
Yes, yeah, in time of Magsaysay.
Mm-hmm.
But also the ecosystem of Manila Bay needs to be
Protected.
It needs to be protected
Yeah,
and enhanced.
yeah.
No, and there are sa Parañaque there is a wild a wildlife sanctuary. Which is the staging place for some birds, migratory birds.
Yeah.
That needs to be protected as well. We can't live in a planet if we shut down all the other species, you know.
Yeah.
Pero it's my focus though is on the whole spirituality of this. Like
Please expound, Father.
Like Laudato Si, you know, says that we live in a. We all need ecological conversion because we're all eco-illiterates.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
all and it talks about an economy which is single-dimensional,
Yeah.
and we live in a single-dimensional
profit,
world.
profit,
the only
profit.
thing that matters is profit,
Yeah.
and hindi sustainable yan.
Yeah. Yeah.
And but you know, it makes a lot of sense it makes a lot of sense to if you're thinking of money. Now, the one of the things that has happened is that all the dioceses around Manila Bay have come up with a position paper
Yes.
and signed by all the bishops.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All 21 bishops. I have here the letter. I have a copy of the letter.
Oh.
That the 21 bishops of the ecclesiastical province of Manila sent to President Aquino.
Right.
So ang presidente noon ay si President Benigno Aquino III pa, no? They sent this letter dated November 19, 2013.
Oo.
So matagal na talaga to, ano? Ano na po, 2018 na, ano? Would you know how the president responded to, how did he respond to this letter? Wala.
Meron. There was some dialogue, and then there was all kinds of, you know, has the. I mean, there's a legal process. Has the EEC been granted, and who's in charge of this section and that section, and maraming iba't ibang proyekto din
Yes,
yan.
okay.
So it's very complicated, but the basics are, we just don't know how to handle our planet. And we'll magsisisi tayo.
Yes,
no?
yes, of
and
course.
This is an excellent example of it. No, pero it's become grabe. For me, the worst development has been that the local governments have got involved big time now.
Yeah.
Noong panahon na yan, the
Wala
local
pa.
Wala pa.
When you say the LGUs, the cities are now involved big time, what do you mean by that?
They're partners in the project.
So the projects are now ongoing? Are there projects ongoing already, reclamation projects? Or are they not suspended?
It's not suspended.
Wow.
Oh.
So, meron na pong mga nagsimula na?
Hindi pa siya nagsisimula, pero yung preparation nila tuloy-tuloy. Mga public hearings, public scoping.
Yung mga nag-aano na, no?
May planning, may development plan na pre-present.
Okay.
One of the big objections, there was Rodolfo, Professor Rodolfo has written a position paper also, and he talks about liquefaction.
Kelvin Rodolfo.
Kelvin Rodolfo, yeah. He talks about liquefaction, that if there's an earthquake, there would be, you know, and you know, you wouldn't want to pray for a lindol, no?
Yeah.
But
the liquefaction, yeah.
But it's inevitable mangyayari yan sa Maynila, no? And if that happens, you'll see all the reclaimed places na magiging tagilit na yung mga building noon. So let's see what happens Mall of Asia when that happens. Huh?
Let me just read a portion of the letter of the bishops of the ecclesiastical province of Manila. We are aware of 38 projects that involve reclaiming 26,000 hectares of Manila Bay. Our immediate concern, however, is the proposed reclamation of 300 hectares of Las Piñas, Parañaque, 300 hectares of Pasay, and most immediate, the 148 hectares of Manila. as the process of bidding for this has already begun. There are bigger lots being proposed for Manila, Navotas, and Sangli. Already, even without these projects, former reclamations in these areas have resulted in disastrous flooding, especially in Las Piñas, Parañaque, Malabon, Navotas, and many towns and cities in Cavite, Bulacan, and Pampanga. I must add, Marikina also. So, they refer to what you mentioned a while ago, the study or the comments or the opinion of experts. So, according to them, the comments of the specialists we consulted are disturbing. Dr. Kelvin Rodolfo and Dr. Fernando Siringan explained that Manila Bay reclamation is a very bad idea because of 3 serious geological hazards that reclamation proponents are ignoring or dismissing. First, even without reclamation, continuing rapid and accelerating subsidence, I don't know what that means, of the
Tubig. The water level.
It's subsiding of the coastal lands bordering the bay is worsening both floods and high tide invasion. Second is a combination of surges and storm waves driven against our coasts by passing typhoons, such as those that devastated Rojas Boulevard. We saw that, right? The storm surge. But the greatest hazard is liquefaction. You referred to this. During earthquakes that destroys building and coastal areas, whether underlain by natural deposits like those of the Pasig River Delta or artificial reclamations. Yes, okay.
The subsidence is if you ubusin mo yung tubig, the water level, bababa yan, bababa din yung the lupa.
Yeah,
so it becomes under sea level, under the sea level, and then is prone to flooding. Yeah.
Okay.
Yung 148 hectares po, ngayon hindi na siya 148.
Ano na?
314 hectares na sa Manila.
Ang maapektuhan.
i-reclaim.
Talaga, no?
Anong gusto? Island yan.
Wow.
Two island.
Yeah. Yung sinabi mo, may binanggit ka yung yung Manila, yung tawag nila ngayon?
Ang tawag po nila ngayon, Manila Waterfront City Reclamation.
Wow. Ano yun? Parang gagawa sila ng... Kasi there was a time gusto raw gumawa ng casino.
Ganun
correct?
Po.
Ganun yun. Parang entertainment capital.
Casino.
Yes.
Hotels.
Wow. Okay. Talk to us also about kasi ang mga tatamaan, mga coastal areas, correct? And of course we know that mga mga ordinaryong tao, mga mangingisda, mga maliliit na ay masasagasaan ito. Talk to us about how serious that is, Father.
Well, maraming na may hanap-buhay dyan, and mawawala sila ng hanap-buhay.
Yeah.
But you know, they're fishermen, so they're pinakamababa sa larangan. So they don't get a voice. Pero baka si Tet ang mas
kilala mo yung maraming mga mangingisda, di ba?
Marami pong mangingisda. Tapos sa umaga, makikita nyo sa Rojas Boulevard, may nagtitinda ng mga isda dyan.
Yes, oo.
Kasi nangingisda sila sa gabi. Tapos yung mga bangkero, yung hanap buhay din nila yan. Kasi minsan nagdadala sila ng mga pasahero galing sa barkong nakadaong papunta ng Malate. Pangalawa, yung nahuhuling isda ng mga mangingisda, yung mga manininda naman sa palengke ang nagtitinda niyan. So yung mga hanap buhay nila, maapektuhan pati manininda. Yung mga nasa Pondohan, yung mga nasa Divisoria, maaapektuhan ho.
How about yung mga communities? Meron bang mga masasagasaan, paalisin ng mga sabihin na natin urban poor communities?
Posible po yan na may mga eviction. Kasi kung magde-develop ka ng isang magandang lugar na sa tingin parang ang itsura niya parang Las Vegas.
Wow.
Parang ganyan. Siyempre dapat walang eyesore. Sa tingin nila, yung urban poor communities, eyesore yan. So, malapit na malapit yung bagong plano sa Baseco. Kasi dito siya ikakabit, dito siya idudugtong sa may Manila Hotel. Dati, sa may banda ng Sofitel. Pero siguro, dahil sa mga opposition, inilipat nila ng location.
So, we're talking here of thousands of families. communities. In communities that
Paseco has
will be displaced.
25,000 voters. Baka more than 25,000, 50,000 ang population. Tapos sa Malate po, meron kaming mga 10,000 families.
Wow. Yung
PPCRVC, marunong ito. Galing siya sa halalan.
mabuti yung kabisado mo na ang sinabi niya, 10,000 voters. Kasi next year, election. They will be listening to voters. Itong mga politiko na to, sina Mayor, makikinig yan. So, why is the church involved? Father?
Sa pananaw, because the church cares for life. Cares for the world. And nasisira kung...
But when did we get involved, Father, in this particular issue?
We were involved even in the 80s. I think since the Second Vatican Council, it's very clear that and particularly from PCP2, which called for a renewed integral evangelization.
Second Plenary Council.
Of the Philippines. Integral, ang ibig sabihin ng integral, kabuuan.
Holistic.
Every aspect of life is part of, because God is the creator. God created everything, and we're supposed to align ourselves with that, no?
But this is very remarkable. The letter signed by 21 bishops sent to President Aquino.
Yes.
I don't know if this came out in the news at that time, but this is remarkable for 21 bishops of the Metro Manila area to write to the President and to appeal on this issue of reclamation. That's very remarkable.
Also, they might try and send it again, because I hear that President Duterte is against reclamation.
He is against.
That's what I heard.
So that's a good news.
Ewan ko kung totoo yan, pero that would be good news. Yes.
So are we talking to the bishops again?
I have no idea. We'll see. We'll see. God is good.
Of course. But the undersigned, the 21 bishops, many of them are still
in
still
position.
there. So I'm sure they will just reiterate what they've already. Yes. Okay. So we'll just take a short break, mga Katipuneros, and if you have questions, you can send to us. You can post your messages sa atin pong sa atin pong Facebook page. Yes. Sandali lamang po.
The Jesuit Hour. Get to know the Jesuits. Discover their spirituality, their history, their ministries. The Jesuit Hour. Anything Jesuit, everything Jesuit. The Jesuit Hour. Rejoice, refresh, renew, and reflect. Join us for an hour of music that uplifts the soul. Listen to your favorite Jesuit music ministry artists. This is JMM Radio. JMM Radio. Get your day's dose of inspirational music. Tune in to JMM Radio every Wednesday from 1 to 2 p.m. Only here on Radyo Katipunan 87.9 FM. Be inspired, informed, and ignited. The Ateneo Way, a Radyo Katipunan feature that talks about values, art, books, culture, and ideas that matter a lot to many Ateneans. Hosted by Dennis Temporal of the Ateneo School of Humanities. This is The Ateneo Way.
We stand on a hill.
Calling on all young male professionals. Do you wish to live an extraordinary life? Are you tired of the routine and mundane and long for a dynamic, adventurous, and even dangerous life? Do you wish to make your life count and hope to make an impact long after you're gone? Do you wish to live a life of service to society, to country, and to dear Mother Earth? Then you are the one we are looking for. Consider the Society of Jesus. Join the church's gallant army and turn your world upside down. Call the Jesuits Vocations Promotions Team 426-6101, local 3406. Once again, 426-6101, local 3406.
The Jesuit Hour. Get to know the Jesuits. Discover their spirituality, their history, their ministries. The Jesuit Hour. Anything Jesuit, everything Jesuit. The Jesuit Hour.
Yes, we're back here at the Jesuit Hour. I'm your host, Father Nono Alfonso S.J. Okay, good morning to Cynthia Estrella, to Paul Banay. Hi, Father. Regards from the Josefinos here in Bataan. Okay, so we are being watched in Bataan. And Miguel Francisco Mariano Artimiak. Good morning, Father. Okay, so we have our guests here, my dear friends. Father John Laydon and Tet Sambale, and they are fighting the reclamation projects being hoisted upon us by LGUs and by business interests. And we are opposing these reclamation projects on many grounds: environmental, legal, and of course moral ground. Okay, Father, you're also a member of the Global
Catholic Climate Movement.
Global Catholic Climate
Movement.
Wow. So, wow.
Yeah.
So, what are you up to in that organization?
It's an interesting organization. It's worldwide, pero ditos, and it has a number of projects. One of them is interesting, divestment.
Divestment. What does that mean? Wow.
It means yung pag-alis ng pera para sa fossil fuel divestment. And it has, it's part of a movement that has already got pledges of $5 trillion.
Wow.
People na may hawak na $5 trillion that says we are withdrawing from. We're not going to have any investment in the exploration or processing of fossil fuel. Kasali Jan, the recent one that joined was Caritas International.
Yes.
Of which Cardinal Tagle
is the president.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No?
But why is that important to divest money from these,
because climate
fossil
change
fuel
is the issue ngayon.
Yeah.
Kailangan gumising tayo dyan. We don't have too much time left. No? And climate change, yung ugat ng climate change is the burning of fossil fuels. So we have to move from, it's a simple solution. We have to move from fossil to renewables.
Renewable energy.
Yes.
Yeah.
And we have to do it fast.
Yeah.
You
But
know?
here in the Philippines, as a government policy, what do you think?
The government policy, well, the Philippines, ang katwiran nila is, look, we're not producing that much fossil fuel. So kaya, and coal seems to be cheaper, or used to be cheaper.
I think the preference is coal.
There is a plan to, but I think it's the coal lobby want to get their stuff built kasi there's ito ang huling hataw nila. Alam nila na walang kinabukasan ng coal. But if they get their coal fire plants built, ayos. They've done enough, no? Pero sayang dito sa Pilipinas that we didn't go for. I mean, there's so much potential sa araw.
We're a signatory, correct? The Paris.
Yes.
What do you call that?
The climate agreement.
Yeah. We're signatory of that, correct?
Yes.
Yeah. Although Donald Trump withdrew.
He withdrew, yes. But there's a big reaction to that. In September now, San Francisco, the governor of California is drawing all the non-national people for a big conference, saying we're still in is the title of the conference. Just because umatras si Donald Trump doesn't mean that America is withdrawing. In fact, many cities and states are now committing themselves. Yeah.
Okay, Father, of course, 2 years ago, was it 2 years ago, Pope Francis wrote Laudato Si, his encyclical letter on the environment, the protection of environment creation.
Care for our common home.
Yeah, so can you just highlight for us the salient points of the Pope?
That we have a problem. Now, malaking bagay yan. Because up to that, people are saying, maybe not. Pero claro siya.
Yeah, like there are what you call the deniers. Yeah, deniers.
That was the biggest thing he did.
Yeah.
You know, soon after nilabas yung Laudato Si, President Obama came here, and he was very strong about climate change. He could not have said that without the backing of
Pope Francis's letter.
A year earlier, it would have been political suicide to say what he did.
Yeah.
So that's one of the main things. And then
so we have a problem. That's number
the
one
problem
point.
is there.
We have a problem.
Yes, it's human, caused by humans.
Yes.
Tapos, we need to change. Humans need to change.
So it's not as if the problem is being caused by people, outside, but we are part of the problem.
It's our technological culture that is causing this. Hindi sustainable yung lifestyle natin. Kailangan harapin natin yan. At napakahirap yan. Napakahirap. Yeah. But kaya natin.
Kaya.
And we need and one of the big things it says, which the church has been saying even Pope Benedict and Pope John Paul II, it's a spiritual problem. We have lost a proper relationship sa ating mga kapatid sa sanlilika.
Yes.
At sa ating planeta.
Yeah.
And we have given no rights. No rights to anybody except ourselves. At saka meron isang movement sa ating daigdig ngayon for the rights of nature.
Yeah. Wow, that's
right.
new.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oo, yung mga isda sa Manila Bay, they have a right to exist.
Of course. Well,
and the mangroves have a right to
animal
exist.
rights. Yeah.
But there are some countries like Ecuador have done that, and from there's now a caravan from Zamboanga to Manila arriving in Manila in June, June 4 and 5, and that's promoted by Philippine Miserior. And they are, that's one of the things that they're pushing for. At saka may start sa Senate. They're maybe Senator Lagarda and Hontiveros may be the ones behind pushing for rights of nature.
Wow.
So maraming pagbabago din. The question is it enough? Is it fast enough? No.
I remember there were two documentary films, yung The Inconvenient Truth. And then there's one by Leonardo DiCaprio, The 11th Hour, I think. Yes. And these documentaries interviewed people, and I think they all pointed to that. It's a problem. It's a spiritual problem. No, it's not just, it's not just environmental problem. But it is rooted in our, in our covetousness, or greed. So it is a very spiritual problem.
And they use the framework of kasunduan, covenant. We have a covenant with our mga kapatid sa nature. Bahagi din tayo ng nature, pero we have a relationship with them nawasak na. We have a relationship sa isa't isa nawasak na.
Correct.
So we cannot say we have a proper relationship with yung tagapaglikha ng lahat.
Wow.
No.
And we're supposed to be stewards. That's the first. That's the first assignment.
Yes.
In Genesis that we were tasked by our Creator.
Yes.
Be stewards of.
Take care of the garden.
Take care, but we have not been taking care of.
Right.
So that's Laudato Si. Have you been going around the country sharing?
GCCM have developed a symposium called Deep Journey into Laudato Si. And we're training teams to give it. So recently we had 7 dioceses from the Sierra Madre,
Wow.
and we trained 7 teams. So we're multiplying ourselves by 7 times.
Father, I'd like you to answer some controversial questions. When you're working for the environment, there are questions asked of you. Number 1, the first world countries are now on this environmental advocacy because they've already, profited a lot.
That's right.
From the exploitation of the environment. Now that it's our President Duterte mentioned this.
Yes.
Nauna na kasi sila. Let us exploit our environment naman. Diba? So how do you answer that?
Well, the United Nations took that into account and said that there was shared but diverse responsibility. May pananagutan yung mga nauna.
Yes.
And that was one of the sticking points. Kaya lang, I think what the good thing about Paris was may kasunduan na kasali ang lahat because China accepted that it had hindi dejado anymore. That it was okay for it. But up to that point, but the principle of may pananagutan yung that's accepted. Yeah.
And then number 2, are we against progress? Yan, lagi nilang sinasabi, are we against progress? Because we exploit the environment.
What is progress?
Yes.
No, I mean this is one. Progress and development are probably the 2 most toxic words on the planet today. Alam niyo, we had an exercise sa parokya on Laudato Si. There's a part in Laudato Si which says, think of a time when you were really at home with nature. Think of a spring or a mountain and we did that exercise sa parokya. Most of the people were urban poor, pero galing sila sa probinsya. They all started saying, I remember nung ako'y lumalaki, ang ganda, yung batis, but then there says, tapos bumalik ako at my progress and development doon at nakita nawasak ang lahat. So actually one of the biggest things we have to realize is that we are encantada with progress and development. Siempre there is a thing called but unexamined appreciation of progress and development is probably the biggest danger to the planet at this moment.
And when I used to work in an NGO, John J. Carroll Institute on Church and Social Issues.
Yes.
I used to work there before I entered the Society of Jesus, and we have this phrase, and it's we can counter this progress and development argument. We have this phrase popularized then, sustainable development. So development and progress, they're not okay, they're not bad in themselves, but that has to be sustainable. Yes, and sustainable means, of course, the environment, taking care of the environment. Number 2, getting people involved in the development and in progress. Correct?
But progress and development has to be holistic also.
Yes.
Dapat kasali ang lahat.
Yes.
Nobody should be left behind. Right now, you look at the Manila Bay. Para kanino ba yan? I mean, it's trying to capture, much of it is trying to capture the gambling market. At sino ba yan? Kundi yung super rich.
Super rich.
And yung victima will be the Manila city itself, maybe, and everybody that lives there. No, pero ang hirap.
So, speaking of mahirap, Father, so any can you give us a progress report? Ano na bang nangyayari ngayon?
Well,
you've been fighting this reclamation project since you said 80s?
Yes. Yeah.
So,
well, it's
anything
not,
happening?
Sometimes it's not. With the, alam nyo, if you're involved in issues, it never looks positive, Pero somebody said to me, Father, it's a done deal. I says, ang response ko sa kanila, I like done deals. Sa aking kasaysayan, I've been involved in a few done deals. Una, the Chico River Dam.
Yes.
Done deal yan, pero it
Yeah.
never happened. Huh?
You mean to say you were already here?
Yes.
You were already fighting?
Yes.
Oh,
yes.
my Lord.
In fact, Irish Accord, there was an Irish company, the Irish Parang Maralco, which is a semi-state.
Yeah.
They were involved here.
In the Chico Dam project.
Yes, and we had a corresponding campaign in Ireland with
Oh, wow.
with the union
Wow.
of the Irish company, the ESP. So we
So that was a done deal, and
done
yet
deal
you
and-
prevailed. Yeah.
Yes. The other one was the Bataan nuclear plant,
Bataan nuclear plant.
and
Okay.
that was a done deal.
As
Walang
well.
nangyari,
Yeah.
And there was
Westinghouse.
And there was also an environmental or a nuclear plant called Carnsore Point, sa Ireland. I was on vacation one time, and we were protesting against that also.
Even
Done
during-
deal din yan, and it never happened. So I like done deals kasi yung track record ko sa done deals is 100%.
Okay, Father, let me just ask you, who are, kanina po, si Tet mentioned neighborhood associations, urban poor communities. Who else are involved? Who else are your partners in the fight against this reclamation project?
There are people who have the fishermen organizations. Senator Villar is also very helpful, the office of Senator Villar.
But she is into realty development.
Yes, but she's been very consistent on this and a great help, yeah. And there are people's organizations, and there are mga business people and concerned citizens then.
Because we really have to...
but it's a very broad and loose
yeah.
resistance, yeah.
Yeah.
And sometimes I don't feel too positive or optimistic, pero...
But there has
But
to
I
be like, if people want to help, we have discussed this, and people may be interested in helping out. How can they help? Where is the organization fighting this?
There actually
project?
The SOS is a very loose kind of a forum for people to. So in their local areas, meron mga grupo. If you're from Malate, you can get in touch with TETS Marjob.
SOS, Save Our Shore. That's the umbrella.
That's an
organization.
umbrella,
Do they have a website? Okay, so because we're running out of time, Father
Yes.
John. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. But
And some of us are running out of energy also.
yeah, you've been at this. And yet the bishops, we can count on the bishops. Yeah.
The bishops have been very steady, and it's great that they took a stand.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Isn't there a committee on the environment, or commission on the environment?
Sa
Episcopal Commission, yeah.
The one na may hawak nito is the NASA, the social
NASA.
action.
Yeah.
And sometimes their dioceses are in different stages of development. Some meron they have a desk on care for the earth.
Yeah.
Pero usually it's linked with the
Because
social
this
action.
Here is the irony, Father. These Manila Bay reclamation projects would be affecting, as you said, not just Metro Manila, but the whole of the country. And yet, if not for this, for our discussion now, I think many people would not be aware of the danger that is imminent. It's not being, talked about in media now, so it's not current. So people are not aware. We need to conscientize people. We need to make them aware of this issue. Correct?
Yes.
Yeah.
People respond when we we had a linking of arms, for the Manila Sunset a few years ago, and we were hoping that we could get the whole of from the CCP to the U.S. Embassy, get people to link arms and watch the sunset. It was 3 deep, so people respond all right. Pero yeah.
So
and I'm sure more should be done and could be done.
Okay.
Yeah.
Anyway, this is of course one step
Yes.
in that direction.
Oo.
Yes, this discussion we're having now.
Oo.
Okay, so nako, 12:00 na po.
Okay.
So anyway, perhaps final message to our viewers, or this will be viewed again and again, Father.
Yes.
So if you have any final message and appeal to them.
Let's wake up before it's too late, no? And hindi tulog ang espiritu ng Diyos. If the planet is in trouble, yung tagapaglikha ng planeta is also hindi tulog.
Yeah.
And all we have to do is allow ourselves to hear the voice of God today, which as Laudato Si is we can hear it by hearing the voice of the poor and the voice of the planet. So if we can hear the voice of Manila Bay calling to us today, that's all we need. That's the first step that we need to
Amen.
do. Open our hearts. Yeah.
Ate Tet, anong final message mo sa mga nakikinig, nanonood sa atin? Anong pakiusap mo sa kanila?
Siguro po maganda, mas mahalaga kung bubuksan natin ang ating mga puso, ang ating mga isip, kung ano talaga yung nangyayari sa ating paligid at sa ating lipunan.
Bago mahuli ang lahat.
Bago mahuli ang lahat, bago may mangyari pang mas worse pa.
Nananakot naman kayo eh. Okay, thank you so much kay Tet and Father John.
Sige, Father.
Don't get tired, Father, fighting for Mother Earth. Yes, and we will pray for your ministry. We will do our best to, of course, spread the word, what you're doing. And we hope and pray for good results. Yes. Maraming salamat, mga Katipuneros. Thank you so much. Until next time, until tomorrow, here at the Jesuit Hour, this has been your host, Father Nono Alfonso as J.
The Jesuit Hour. Get to know the Jesuits. Discover their spirituality, their history, their ministries. The Jesuit Hour. Anything Jesuit, everything Jesuit. The Jesuit Hour.